Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 15th through June 30th, 2021 reading. Make sure you check out your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more well-rounded message. All right, let's go ahead and begin. First card we have is Chariot, and the first word that came to my mind was control. And I got two statements said right away. One of them was, for some of you, and some of you, both of this might apply. Some of you, it's about the need to control or feeling like you need to keep your hands or your grip on the reins extremely tight in your life. Some of this is for stability and secure. Well, it's predominantly because of the need for stability and security. And some of you, this is a message regarding other people's trying to control your life. And the reason why I said that I feel like this is tethered is because a lot of times when we feel the need to have such a tight control over our own life, over our personal life, this is a result of at one point in our lives, we experience someone else in control of our life, but as a result of that, we sort of got the short end of the stick. Not exactly the best scenario because someone else had control and they sort of dropped the ball. And so as a result of that, we have a tendency to need control of our lives in every aspect so that we can kind of keep that from happening ever again. And that's where that whole stability and security comes from. Now, this is all coming into play because you are experiencing or on the cusp of experiencing something that makes you feel you need to tighten your grip on the reins of your life. It makes you feel a bit more rigid instead of going with the flow. You're starting to fight the flow. And although it is understandable why you need and why humans in general need a sense of stability and security, the problem right now is that as a result of this, you're blocking your need to control is actually is causing a resistance of accepting guidance from your higher source of guidance, power, or direction, and what have you. So you're gripping onto the reins so tight and you're so focused and fixated on gripping those reins so tightly that you can't hear your help, your source of connection from the other side guide you through this. And so not only are you resisting the events, but you're also resisting divine guidance, divine direction, divine help, so to speak. So however that resonates with you, take it. If you need to take a moment and think about it, feel free to do so. Hit pause if you have to, come back later if you have to. That's a lot. I feel like that is a lot to take in right now because of whatever's going on that's making you feel the way that you feel, what's making you feel this way. So if you need time to digest that, go right ahead and take the time to digest that. But the overall arcing message is that your sudden urge to grip on tighter to the reins and resist the flow is making it so not only are you taking control and keeping yourself safe, but you're actually blocking out some of the divine help that's been trying to get to you, but can't because you're so focused on this aspect. So just take note, make sure that you are aware of your surroundings and make sure that the things that you're trying to resist aren't actually there to help you. But just that is that's the key part of that. So we follow this with both the Six of Wands and or Six of Swords and Page of Wands. They are together. I'm being told that these are together. So you're taking a bit of a mental journey, so to speak. So whatever you are going through, there's definitely a connection of going through I'm being told spiritual, but there's a direct link, especially since this is swords. There's a very distinct and direct link with your journey, the spiritual journey that you're on, and just your overall headspace and how you feel, how you are interacting with yourself, with your connection to the other side, and a little bit with the people who are in your life and who love you and are there for you. So it's having an impact on you. And I do get the sense that you are aware of this to a certain degree, that you are aware that this is happening. But again, the intensity of focus is on, like, you're aware of these events, you're aware of this sentiment, you're aware of this happening, but you're so fixated on the thing that you are actively dismissing the outer current of it, these outside aspects that you are very aware of that is happening. And there's a desire to get to a fresh start, a new beginning, kind of. You have a game plan. And so you're fixated on this and you want to see it to the end, because you get an overall sense that once you get through this and you get to the other side and you complete this task at hand that you have decided to work on, you recognize, or you feel that there is a version of yourself that will make you feel like you can embrace yourself. There's like a new version of yourself, but it's not a new version of yourself. It's a version of yourself that has always existed, and you're just trying to reconnect with it. You feel like you've been cut off from this aspect of yourself, and you're just trying to get through this. You're plowing through this particular work because you want to embrace this aspect of yourself that you feel. Once you embrace this aspect of yourself, the new version of you, once this merge has happened, once this marriage has happened of you who have gone through this work and you of this version of yourself that you're aware of, marry and become one. You feel like you can start anew, start fresh, and everything will sort of have a new beginning and you can work from there. And although there is truth in this sentiment, you're being told that your approach is too controlling and too intense, that you might start to wear yourself thin, to wear yourself down emotionally and mentally. So that's the message. Take it however you want. You're being told to just be wary of these things, because you're amping up the intensity. It's not that it's not intense, but you're amping up the intensity. We have the Knight of Cups, and I feel that this is basically letting you know that there is someone in your life who is there for you emotionally. This is the support. This is someone who will fight in your behalf, someone who can be an advocate for you, someone who is there to support you. We don't always have to be the hero of our stories. Sometimes, there's nothing wrong with being the one who gets saved. And I know that's not always a very welcomed statement in today's day and age. Everybody wants to be their own hero, and that's definitely has its validity. But there are some instances that there's no reason why we can't have someone just step in and be an advocate for us. And so this Knight of Cups is letting you know that there is someone in your life who's more than willing to step up and at the very least be the sword by your side, so that you have someone at your back. It doesn't even have to be someone who's your knight in shining armor. It doesn't have to be someone who's going to be your hero. It doesn't have to be someone who's going to save you. It can just be someone who is your advocate. And like I said, it's someone who has your back, someone who's standing there fighting alongside with you, all of your battles, facing everything that you're going to face, and is willing to strike the sword, pull the sword alongside you and fight with you. And just make sure that you're aware of that person. Make sure that and that goes back to that concept, like I said, about the Six of Wands and the Page of Cups and the intensity of this, and how as a result of this, you're so focused and you recognize that sort of kind of isolation that you've created as a result of the work that you're doing. And this is letting you know that even the fact that you're aware of it is letting you know, okay, you need to step out of that just a little bit and make sure you take note of and accept this person who's willing to be an advocate and someone who is ready and willing to fight by your side. The Four of Swords is also reminding you to rest. You need to be well rested, well nurtured, well fed, well prepared when you go into battle. possibly even especially when we go into battle with ourselves and our inner shadows. So make sure you are doing the things that you need to do to make sure that you are well rested, well rejuvenated, properly prepared, properly nurtured, properly fed, all of that good stuff. Make sure you are doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. Self-care. Self-care is a word that really comes to mind as far as as much as I keep going over all of this. So do the self-care work. And no, again, this comes along with that person who's willing to be your advocate. You know, this person can help fight your battle while you're resting. Sometimes those people will be there out there doing the work while you take a nap, while you rest. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So however this applies, you're being told to make sure you do this. Now, the other aspect of this is grounding, reinforcing that message of rest. And it really is coming in with this strong message of silence. And I do believe that this comes with making sure you take a moment to shush yourself. And this is not quieting yourself. This isn't, you know, any way stifling yourself or oppressing yourself. This is basically saying, shh, I need quiet. I need to be quiet, telling your inner voice to be calm, basically kind of really tapping into the grounding concepts and that silence and how it kind of helps you to be able to be calm and zen on the inside and connect better to your higher connections for guidance and directions and everything that comes with it. So make sure you take time to be resting and being quiet and quieting your mind and those fears that are coming up and making you feel insecure or making you feel ungrounded and that which is making you feel like you need to tighten your reins and control. You need to find a way to kind of allow them to quiet down and to find a moments of peace with itself, with yourself, so that you can connect better with your higher power, your connection of the divine, to help guide you as you move through this, whatever it is that you're working through, because it definitely feels quite intense. Ultimately, we have the last message, I choose love no matter what, and I do believe this is in direct relationship with love with yourself. So this process that you're going through, I feel like, is an act of self-love. The work that you're doing is an act of self-love. However, make sure you are doing this in the energy of love. Make sure you're not being too hard on yourself. Make sure you're not being too intense with yourself. Make sure you're doing this work with yourself with love. And at any time you start to get a little rough with yourself, a little too intense with yourself, make sure you're doing what it takes to make sure that you are rest, well fed, well nurtured, well prepared, and so on and so forth. So self-care is self-love, and sometimes that means relaxing, having that advocate fight for you on your behalf so that you can rest, and all of that good stuff. So self-care, self-love as you work through this is a big thing as you move through the rest of the month of June. All right, that is all I have for you. I hope this message has brought you everything you hoped for and more. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs to get a more well-rounded picture. And hopefully I will. Oh, if you do decide you want a personal individual reading, I offer those in the description box below. There are links. And like I said, hopefully June ends up being a wonderful month for you. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video.